Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is the TWA Podcast show, and we have a new guest host, Mr. Sexy.
Mr. Sexy right here.
Also known as Mr. Damn Gorgeous. Also known as Bad on the Mic.
Terrible on the mic.
So we talked about him a couple in the last two episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it was good stuff. Some of it was bad.
Some of it kind of counterbalances.
What'd you think of the show?
I thought it was amazing. I watched both of them back to back. Pretty great.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic between you and Matthew Good.
It is always a good experience.
So we... Hee.
Anyways.
So... Can I say it like this? Does it make me look gay?
A little bit.
That's okay.
Let me try this. Hold on.
Who cares? Do I have to go into the, like, you know, how I can kiss and do other things with a man and I don't have to be gay. I don't want to be.
Doing that.
I don't know. Ooh, I've been doing yoga.
Yeah, but does it shrink your testicles?
Well, I'm sitting on them. I'm kidding. We're supposed to be talking about wrestling stuff. All right, so we got a lot of my feedback from the last two episodes about the TWA, Theatric Wrestling All-Stars. So now we get to hear from your account, and you're basically literally one of the founding fathers. I guess technically you and me would be the two. We essentially created it. I'm not trying to discredit Ivy or Matt Good by any chance, but
right.
I mean, it kind of started with us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part. You know, it was all of us just goofing around. We were obsessed with wrestling. You know, that also filtered out into the trampoline where, oh, hey, let me try this move because, you know, it's on TV. I'm going to do it. Or the random stunner or whatever in the living room or bedroom.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, oh. Look at me.
Oh, dude. Real Matt Good kept doing that. The random stunners. Remember when he first started coming and hanging out over at your house?
And he did it in the kitchen?
It was either to you or to me. I think it was me, right? And then remember your stepdad was like, hey, y'all get out of here, all that crap.
Or beat your butt.
And then Matt Good literally goes, okay, I'm out. Okay. And he just literally leaves. And you and me are sitting there staring at each other like, what the crap? And a lot of that stuff would happen. And then you talked to him later because you were like, you just came out and asked him. Because remember, you and me were speculating. We were like, I think Matt Good's scared of your stepdad. And then you asked him. You're like, you're like scared of my stepdad Marty then, huh? And then he was like, honestly, man, I'm terrified of the man.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not on the podcast this time, Matt goes, we're going to talk so much shit about you. How dare you?
That's right.
Oh, what was it I was supposed to call him out on? Oh, he was taking credit for what was the thing? Somebody help me. What was it? The karaoke hour. Yeah. He was like, oh, yeah, I came up with the karaoke. No, you didn't, dude. No, you didn't. And I didn't realize until I watched the show back. I came up with that because King Seth was singing all the funny stuff. Because
King Seth is beautiful.
King Seth's character he's like the mean, evil, diabolical boss. But then one of his trade-offs is like he loves like pop princess diva music, like Christina Aguilera and Mariah Carey stuff. So I was like, oh, that'd be funny. And if he like sings it like on camera, and then the karaoke thing just kind of evolved from that. He did have input though. He gave me ideas for it, but he didn't come up with it. You freaking liar! God, what a bitch!
Yeah, you being liar. Hey, actually,
you should like him saying. That would be so funny.
Actually, every time that we say so it sounds like we're just cussing the whole time.
Right. So it's just
funny.
Yeah. Or just the whole episode is
Can you do a smiley face over this?
This is not how this is supposed to be.
It's okay.
Stop doing that, damn it. I got church later. So
Mr. Sexy lifts the claw, and ladies surround. Sometimes even men.
So I was I don't remember which episode, but I was telling him about the insignia that you made for Mr. Sexy, the cool like heart thing.
Oh yeah,
Tell everybody about that.
Well, it's a heart, and it has like the ribs coming out, the rib cage around it, and right down the middle. Basically, do this, it resembles it, and then break it in half, jump off the top.
Yeah, and then didn't you do like the cracks in the heart itself and the design? Dude, that would make such a really awesome t-shirt. Like I'm picturing it right now, black, just plain black tee, and it has that heart thing right in the middle of it.
I was actually gonna get one made before we did our last pay-per-view, and I really regret not doing it.
We'll still do it. We can still do it.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, see.
I would have done that for the pay-per-view. I could have worn it instead of looking like a
firefighter.
A lemon lime.
Oh right, because you wore a green Zelda shirt.
The contrast, watching that match again, the contrast is just so crazy. Like everything looks black and white except for me.
That's right, but it doesn't.
Your color scheme was like
pretty neutral.
What, white pants
and black top.
Yeah. And then everything was kind of dark behind it, and then it's just like just a big glowing yellow green dot.
Yeah, but I feel like it paid homage, right? Because Mr. Sexy always wore kind of flamboyant outfits in the past, right?
Or just whatever the hell I was wearing.
Right.
Like a greasy mechanic most of the time.
Right.
Super sexy.
Yeah.
Very
ironic. Although you kind of reinvented your look around 4th season.
Yeah.
And like you got a haircut and you like started looking a little bit more handsome. Yes. Oh God, I love it. I remember watching that match with Ivy, the 3 Stages of Hell, and my sister's friend, or our family friend Danny. He's this super big gay guy who's really funny. But he was like watching and he saw you and he's like, oh, that's Mr. Sexy. All right, now he's a little sexy. And then you took your shirt off to do the heartbreaker, I think, to Ivy off the ladder through the table. And then he's like, oh, I mean, he's still sexy, but he needs to work out a little bit.
I remember asking your mom the first time I met him. This was when we were like, I don't know, 12 or something. I was like, is that a woman or a man? What is that?
Yeah, he does a really good job of looking like a chick. But he's not
sometimes. I mean,
what is it? He's not transgender. He's just a gay guy that likes to look like a girl.
And fool Mexican into doing stuff.
Yeah. God.
I don't know.
Anyways, back to wrestling.
Back to wrestling.
So, why do you think Ivy's just such a huge
Oh, God. I wouldn't say that.
I was
keyword's such a strong word.
Yeah, I was praying about this the other day, and I couldn't come to a conclusion. He just had a baby. Oh, he just had a baby, by the way. Congratulations! You had another baby.
That's right.
Just making babies.
Now he's ahead of us on the baby game.
I know. God, he's always
beating us at everything.
He's always just like doing stuff.
He makes more money than me. He's got more kids than me. Kill him. I mean,
bigger house. Yeah. Does he have a bigger? I don't think he has a bigger house. No, Mr. Sexy has a big lake home, right?
Yeah, and what was it in the show? A viper or something that destroyed.
You had a crowbar. Well, no, and then Hacks, when you had the rivalry with Prince Seth in 2nd season, he was like on the cell phone. He's like,
"Yeah, George, you know what Mr. Sexy's car looks like? Oh, well, it's a red Viper. You know what I want you to do to it? Get the crowbar. Make sure you key his car up a little bit. Get a nice sledgehammer.
So technically, like,
Yeah, call me back when
a
it's
couple
all
of
done.
people have smashed up your
very
sports
PG.
cars
Ah,
in the fictional world of
if only I had a
of our-
sports car.
right. Maybe you will one day, and then Matt Roy can really smash it with a crowbar.
You know what? That
So, all right,
if I had an extra, I think I would let you.
hypothetical. So the TWA goes viral, it gets big, we become celebrities, we're making millions of dollars.
Mhm.
Then you legitimately can buy a red convertible Viper. I don't even know if they make Vipers anymore. And then we'll still continue doing the show, right? Because we have our own show now, so we do like a legitimate show that's on TV or online or whatever.
Right.
And then Matt Roy in the rivalry will literally just your car up with a crowbar.
That's right. And I will be like, hey, we called it years in advance.
Right. But the kicker is we won't let you know about it. Which
Just walk up.
we'll literally show you on video.
Son of a
So
bitch,
then-
just smashed my car.
Then your acting will be real because you're like, what? You might even break character. You'll be like, what? Matt Roy? Oh, I can't believe Hax did that. I'm gonna heartbreak him. What? He really did it?
So let me ask you a question. What was your favorite character to play
Oh,
besides
M. Diamond,
a
definitely.
wrestler?
Hold on. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, M. Diamond? I think we're unstoppable together. Right.
Diamond. A favorite?
Besides one of your wrestling characters.
I don't know. Let's see. There was Johnny Bow. He wasn't a wrestler. Would you count him?
Yeah.
As a wrestler or
Well,
not? He had matches.
I guess all of the characters were wrestlers. Even Al Franken had a match.
That's true. That's true. I don't know. Outside of like my wrestling characters, who would be my favorite that I play?
Yeah.
So there's Al Franken, Johnny Bow. Shadow Man, can I have an autograph? That's it.
Shadow Man.
That's my favorite one. It's never been on film. It's
Or
just-
the guy that ruined the first appearance of Blocko showing up, where it was like all dramatic with the dun 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 dun, long drawn out dramatic entrance,
yeah.
and then he throws his boots and one falls off or something. I can't remember what happened, but then he's like, "Oh, what an idiot! Blocko's a f." Just ruined his whole entrance, but somehow it made it better and more
Yeah.
memorable.
It made it epic. Oh, that's another thing we were
Kind of
talking
sets the stage of what to expect from now on.
Yeah, that's the thing that we were talking about on the last show. I think was how we didn't cuss ever. We would avoid cussing even to the point where we'd be like, "Oh shit, fuck,"
Mhm.
but then we said everything else that was terrible, like sexual innuendos and discriminatory remarks and all kinds of sexist things, all kinds of like stuff that's worse than actual cussing.
Yes.
Stuff that you would get, in trouble for saying.
Yeah, right.
But like you can say ass hell, and it's fine. But can't say that other stuff.
Which limiting our cuss words, not actually cussing, but saying, "Oh, you're a fun shithead," you.
D.
Yeah, you did.
B.
Yeah. Made us more clever in other ways.
That's very true. Yeah, we lacked in that area, so we found ways to be just terrible people.
I remember, I think you said it one time. It was like, wow, we're really funny. If we actually did cuss, we would be even much more funny.
Oh, yeah. And then towards the end of the last couple of seasons, we did start cussing. And then, yeah. I remember like before we were cussing and
made us more funny, but yeah.
What was it? In first season when I was John Jenkins, what did I say? "Oh, damn it," or something. And then everybody's like,
Oh my god, it's a cuss word. We're not supposed
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're just a jackass jerk off.
Right. You're just a jackass jerk off.
We're like, oh, well, he didn't really cuss, but
What's going to be really funny about this podcast is we have cussed several times on it already.
Mhm.
But when you watch it back, watch for the ones where, like, you'll say, like, I'll say, like, "Oh, shit, that's bullshit." And then, like, one of the shit won't be bleeped, but the other one will be. That's Matt Roy. I'm kidding.
Great.
I'm kidding, Matt. Matt does a good job. You see his lights and stuff up there? Isn't that awesome? It's getting legit, man. It's getting super legit up in the house.
Like a studio in here.
What would you say your biggest?
Good fondling the foam tits last time.
Yeah, they're
even Amy was like, why is he fingering the wall?
They feel like legit, like.
Do you have me over here fingering the wall? What is he doing? He wasn't paying attention. He was just kind of, what?
Well, and then he says a lot.
Just
Anna pointed that out to me. He says
jeez.
I mean, everybody does stuff, but he does them like a lot more. It's like a psychological thing. You do it because your brain's trying to think, but he does it. I guess he thinks a lot. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Should have been on the show, Matt Good, instead of going to T-Town to see your girlfriend had surgery, and we would be talking so much smack. No, we probably still would be.
Why are you talking shit about me? She had surgery. That's right.
What was the biggest injury you sustained while we were doing our fake fighting on the trampoline?
Ooh.
Let's hear this.
Probably not the worst one, but one of the most memorable, just right off the top of the head, because I was talking to my boss about it the other day. So, anyways, I know, right? Look at this. Look at these.
I don't want anybody to look up my shirts.
Look at these. It's so white.
Anyways, go ahead. We're getting off topic here.
All right, so I work with steel, so I was me and my boss, because they cut like 16 people for my job like a month ago, so it's skeleton crew. So my boss is actually out there helping, so that's good for a change. Anyway, so he was out there. He was on one side of the angle. I was picking it up with the crane and the chains. Anyways, this is a long story to go into, but
please don't go into it.
I was picking it up, and it kind of seesawed a weird way and came up and hit my funny bone, and it was like a real thick angle, and it came up real fast. Boom! And it like jarred my arm. I was like, oh, shit. Oh, man, hit me right in the funny bone. You know, whatever. But then I told him about the story where one of my friends, I didn't tell him about the backyard wrestling. Where
shouldn't be ashamed of him.
Oh, I know. I've told everybody else up there, though. But anyways, yeah. When Yusaki, or no, wait a second. I was Yusaki.
I was Eagle.
You were Eagle Heart. Okay, yeah. And he hits Yusaki in the arm. Yeah.
The stick.
And my arm just like,
yeah.
It went strong hand. Yeah. It went strong hand for like 10 minutes until I was able to get it to relax.
Yeah. I was telling that on the last show with Matt Good that apparently I have a knack for like messing up people's like joints in their elbow.
Right. That's
because
right.
I hit him perfectly in the same area, but with that crutch.
Yeah, exactly.
He had to take a week off and sit on a heating pad, eat ice cream.
Off. I think that's one of the only times that we've stopped a match.
That you were having?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. Other times were more memorable. Cut! Cut! Remember when Matt Good was the ref and he ran behind the trampoline?
And he slipped. And he said, cut. Yeah.
Had mud all over him.
Yeah, because you did a parody to it, like in fifth season as the referee that was a girl.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? You're like running back and forth and you slip. And you're like,
supposed to wrestle if I can't get in the ring.
That was pretty funny.
That was great. Good times.
Great. What's your favorite pay-per-view?
My favorite pay-per-view, I don't know. That's kind of a hard question. I would say All-Star Classics, just because we put so much into it. So long.
It is very long and dramatic.
All of the matches were great. Rage was amazing also.
It was a spectacle.
It was really good. I think I'll have to say, I don't know. I would have to say All-Star Classics, but I like the way that Hard Havoc played out.
Yeah, that's what me and Matt were talking about last week. last show.
It did play out good.
Yeah, because it had the tournament that bled over into
Right.
the actual season finale show, the paper
Mhm.
show as we call it. Yeah, it was really good, and so that's why we said it was like our WrestleMania, because it had so
All the
much.
matches on it were great too.
Yeah, man. God, if we could have made it to Hard Havoc 2, that would have been super sweet.
Yeah.
A really, really big one. Maybe we will. Who
Great.
knows?
Yeah.
Maybe we will. Maybe we'll be like in our 50s.
Yeah.
Get to it. Like, man, these guys they're in their 50s and they're like fake fighting on a trampoline in their underwear.
It's like, well, we thought that if we had kids, they would grow up and maybe they would like to do this and get together or start something of their own, and watch all of our old footage and maybe want to wrestle around and film a show or something themselves. But we tried, but they're not doing it. So we'll just do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do it. Like, my son is a CEO. What's his problem? Yeah, my son's playing pro ball right now. I don't know what his God, that would be super funny. I don't know. I feel like our kids are probably going to be just as weird as we are.
Probably.
But they'll have a better opportunity to seize that weirdness, whereas we did not.
Yeah.
Which
Opportunity.
yeah, I don't like. Matt Roy made a good point about it, like, it sits as something that belongs to us regardless of what happens with it.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's
Definitely.
pretty important. And people can.
I'm just glad it's on YouTube so we can watch it.
I know, me too. It's super awesome, and people could think
I'll
it's.
have to call Matt Roy and be like, "Hey, do you have any copies I can get?"
Yeah, and then.
Ernie made you some copies. What'd you do with the last ones?
Yeah, and then
I don't have any.
I think Ivy has them. And then you call Ivy and you're like, "Hey, where's the copy?" He's like, "Oh, I gave that back to Matt Roy. I think Matt Good might have it." And then it's just this long cycle.
Oh, I think Jason had it last.
It's basically the same concept. Same concept.
It's on somebody's floor. It's being stepped on.
It's being stepped on as we speak.
It's got broken skateboards on top of it.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's the same thing with us stealing each other's clothes through the years. We're like a bunch of girls. Right? Do girls do that? They steal each other's clothes?
I don't know.
I don't know what they do. That's pretty funny. Yeah, good old
It was
times.
mostly my clothes that you would steal.
With my shorts on.
Be like, oh, hey guy, nice shirt. Where'd you get that? Oh, hey guy, nice shoes. Where'd you get that?
I mean, you can't. That's just hearsay. You can't. I mean, you can say it.
How can you prove
I
it?
disagree.
How can you?
So
How can you prove?
you can give me actual evidence, then the people will know.
Well,
But right now they'll have to be divided.
I could also say you're a fucking bitch, you asshole.
That's just uncalled for.
I know.
Who was your favorite person to wrestle?
Definitely not you. You always smelled like cheese.
Oh yeah,
I'm just kidding.
cheese. Jesus.
I don't know.
I feel like you and me probably did have the best chemistry as far as like
Probably.
doing the
Yeah.
wrestling.
Yeah. Just because.
But you and Ivy had some really good, when you did the
Yeah.
Showtime Mr. Sexy, those are just really fun.
Yeah.
Even though if Ivy couldn't keep up with you physically or whatever, it's just he sold it really well. Like,
Right.
He wasn't as athletic or
Gotta be
strong
a-
as you and stuff, but he sold it really good.
Gotta be a great salesman.
So
Also, Matt Roy, especially like the Mr. Sexy Prince Seth match on
yeah,
Backyard Brutality.
the cardio in that
Oh
match just
my
makes
God.
me tired. Like I lose my
I
breath.
remember we were setting up the actually came over and me and Matt Roy were looking at it, like trying to pick out clips for like the what is it, the video at the end
Mhm.
of the
The
season?
tribute video?
Or, yeah, tribute video for the pay-per-view. And we were like, oh, okay, we're gonna get from this section to this section. I don't know where to stop because it's just like boom, 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 boom,
Yeah,
boom. As
non.
soon as we just stand up, it's just another move, just rolling around.
Yeah, dude, that was
Yeah.
intense. Like it's hard to people don't have a really appreciation for that stuff. But I was saying on one of the previous ones too that like, you know, yeah, people could look at this and be like, oh, well, they're a bunch of wusses. They're not only are they doing fake, not good professional wrestling, but it's on a trampoline of all things. But what I would say is when you're doing that stuff, like I actually wish we would have had a wrestling ring because you wouldn't have got winded as quickly because your body's working more overtime when you're like you have like less gravity that you're dealing with. And so there's like, I don't know the studies, but there's scientific studies about how like being on a trampoline increases your cardiovascular output and intake, and then it saturates your cells or something with oxygen. Yep. And so that makes sense because that's why, like, if you and me could tussle right now, and then we could tussle again on the trampoline, we would get out of breath in like half the time on the trampoline. Yep.
I got on a trampoline not long ago, and I got pretty winded pretty quick, just jumping around and doing flips and stuff. I was like, geez.
I'm going to, at some point, research the science.
Amy, she was sore the next day. She was like, oh my God, are you not sore from yesterday? I'm wrecked.
Yeah. So
my back hurts and my legs and everything.
Yeah, dude, if we were still doing it, man, we'd be in such great cardiovascular shape right now. Like we'd probably do one of those like 5Ks. No prob.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
No prob. That'd be great. That'd be pretty cool. So glad you were on the show, Mr. Sexy.
I know, right?
So glad.
It's a delicacy to have someone so delicious as me.
What are you doing? Don't do that. Don't make those sounds. Don't make those sounds.
It's almost like udders.
Right.
Udders.
Milk 'em.
It's a funky wall of teats.
What is that off of? The Mighty Boosh?
The funky ball of teats.
Do you remember the match that you had with Brandon Sampley, the pants off?
Yes.
Okay, please tell that story, because Matt Good didn't know shit. He didn't know the guy. He didn't know his friend he brought over. Half the people.
Okay. So it was a match. Whoever can strip the other person of their pants first gets $1.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I won the match because I'm a master rapist. And I
get a big bleep on that one.
No, but I was able to get his pants off. I got the $1. I win. So,
okay,
kind of a weird match.
Super. How old were you?
I've been a deviant for most of my life.
Oh man. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's just kind of a spur of the moment. I can't remember what started it. It was like, oh, that's my $1. That's your $1. I think he actually dropped $1 out of his pocket or something. Uh-huh. And then I grabbed it and he got it from me and put it in his pants pocket. Mm-hmm. And it was like, okay, I'll challenge you to a match. Whoever can get the $1 wins or something. It turned into, whoever takes the person's pants. I don't know.
Wow, that's sexy.
It is pretty hot. It's just something weird.
So another question I had. One time
I was why I didn't come back.
Probably. Come back, Brandon. We're not going to take your pants off again.
Come on, flower power.
Not unless
Weird
you really
hippie.
Want to. I'll take your pants off. It's fine. So there was one time I was at your house. We had just finished up school. I was leaving. My mom had picked me up, and it sucked because this is when we were doing TWA, but we weren't filming it yet. And Blocko was having a match, I think, with Flower Power, and I don't remember what happened. Do you remember? Did Blocko beat Flower Power? Matt Good brought him over there.
I remember.
Because you started doing Blocko, and
what?
He likes to admit that he's not Blocko, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not Blocko, first of all, or Shadow Man. It was funny.
I didn't even say anything about Shadow Man.
The last
You're laughing.
Look,
I
the
didn't
last
say
two
shit
episodes
about Shadow
Listen,
Man.
let me tell you a little backstory. These are two different guys that wrestled with us, right?
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
And then this whole time, it made me laugh when I was watching these past two shows, right? Because they were like, "Oh yeah, Thomas wrestles all these matches, every single match, because he's Mr. Sexy, he's Blocko, he's Shadow Man, he's James Jenkins.
You are James Jenkins.
Magical Jester.
You are
Yeah,
Magical Jester.
but I'm not Blocko or Shadow Man."
Okay.
But then, I laughed because, this ongoing joke that they're like, "Oh, yeah, you actually are Blocko. Oh, you actually are Shadow Man," when it's somebody completely different.
Okay.
For the viewers at home, not me.
All right. Okay. So he's not Blocko.
But it's an
Or
ongoing
Shadow Man,
joke.
who I didn't mention.
But did mention on the last two shows.
All right.
So,
Obviously, someone's triggered here. Anyways, do you remember who won that match? Was it Blocko or Flower Power?
Blocko doesn't lose matches.
Oh, he lost.
Except for 3.
He lost to Showtime. He lost to
Usaki.
and then he lost
Broke the
to
streak.
right, and then he lost to Hacks.
Yeah.
I wonder if his pride was hurt for getting beat by little Hacks.
It probably was.
Do you like how I called him little?
Yes.
That's what I like about Matt Roy. He's smaller, so you can like pick him up a lot.
Not that much smaller.
He's not that much smaller. Well, back then he was. He was a lot lighter.
Yeah.
He hadn't developed yet.
He developed a fat ass mustache before any of us.
I
did.
know.
It's like, what?
This guy had a
This guy's
full
14.
bush at 9.
A full bush. This guy's 14. He's got a grown man mustache over
Remember when
here.
we went to like,
I'm jealous.
was it like some kind of small groups or something at Billy? What was his last name? Dean's friend. It doesn't matter. Dean's friend. And then like the boys were commenting about how deep Matt Roy's voice was because he has a deep voice, and they were like, Matt said something and then they mimicked him saying the same thing. He's like, "Oh, I guess that's how it goes," and they go, "Oh yeah, I guess that's how it goes," and he goes, "Shut up, geek."
Shut up, geek.
And I was just like, God, Matt.
Shut up, geek.
That's no way to talk to Christians. I'm joking, Jesus.
I'm out of here. On that one.
Anyways, good show. We got to cut it short because Mr. Sexy's got to go do sexy stuff or whatever.
Got people coming to my house to check it out and look at it. And
They're gonna buy
visit. No.
Oh, tell me that. Tell your stepsister I said hey. Wait, you have 2.
I've got a lot of stepsisters.
Do you? You only have 2.
No, just 2.
Yeah, tell them I said hey. What up?
What up?
Are they staying all weekend? Wait, what is it? It's Saturday.
They're supposed to go somewhere else tomorrow. So
That's good. Okay then.
Anyways, this was nice.
It was good. Have to do it again. Make it longer this time so I have more stories to tell.
Yeah.
This is a good breaking the ice moment though.
That's right.
Pretty cool. All right, man.
TWA. Wish we could still do it.
Maybe we can. We'll see what happens. This is Mitchell, and this is Thomas, a.k.a. Myth, a.k.a. Mr. Sexy. This is the TWA Podcast. Check us out the next time. I know we said we were going to do No Mercy video game play. Well, we're having technical difficulties, so we lied. We're liars. That's fine. Check out the next podcast. Peace. See you later. Pound it. I'm a liar. Pound it. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen.
From TWA, and first of all, what do you think you're doing not subscribing and liking to the show? And if you're watching this, you're like halfway there, man. All you gotta do is use your little finger and just subscribe and like, and maybe even just share the wealth. Share it to everybody you know. Come on now! Come on! Enjoy the TWA show. I know I do. in.
Just think about that. What if we were in the hunter-gatherer times? Right? When you're a caveman. You're like, oh, me, Thomas, I just killed buffalo. And then she's like, oh, you, come home, I hit you with a stone. You just kill him, man. I was like, you know what's great about the fact, like, Davian? It's like, if I killed him, we could just make another one.